Hey everyone, this is James, the Ghost Set Killer, and this is Put 'em on the Glass podcast. And today we got a special guest with us. All of our guests are always special, but this one is a champion. So she fits the ring with the rest of the champions that I've had on the show. Who's today's guest?
Hey everybody, I'm Sara Seymour, Seminole Auto Glass, also out of Tallahassee, Florida. And yes, you may have seen me compete at the recalibration competition, not this past year, but the year before in 2024. I was
Oh,
the grand champion.
I was gonna say that turned out in your favor, right? That was like, yeah, you took home the
Yeah,
gold.
yes. Took home the gold. That was the pretty special day. That was a lot of fun. That whole event was a
Yeah,
lot of fun, but winning it made it even better.
oh, 100%, 100%. But I think what I was most impressed by with that showing you did is you didn't use any lasers. You just used strings on the floor. You went old school Opti-Aim with that thing. Like, I mean, the first generation Opti-Aim that I seen at Pilkington, North America here in Columbus, Ohio. And I was like, I, honestly, and you just blew them out of the water. And it kind of, in my opinion, it was like, well, maybe we don't need all this shit they're selling us.
That's honestly what I have thought for the past few years, which is why it has taken me so long to make the leap to Altel, to be honest with you. The simplicity of it is also what has always attracted me to the OptiAim system. Um, you good?
Yeah. No. I'm good. I'm good.
The simplicity of it has always been what's attracted me to the OptiAim system because it's you're not using all of those things that attach to the car, like the wheel locks and all of these extra things that I have seen with the Altel tools in the past. I'm excited about learning about this new one because I don't think that it has all of that. But the OptiAim, you're literally just using a plumb bob and chalk on the floor, and I do use lasers to go from the back wheel to the front wheel and get my distance that way. But I'm not using like the ones that are locked onto the tire and all of that. So, but yeah, that's the OptiAim system is very old school. It's kind of tedious and monotonous. It can be. But I got my flow down, I got my system down pat, got used to it pretty quickly, and I got the hang of doing them. My biggest competition has always been to get my recalibration done to where the guys are waiting on, or where I'm waiting on the guys to finish the job in order for me to do my calibration, because if I'm not ready and they're done with the job, they're going to pull that car out of the bay and I'm not going to get my chance to shoot my recalibration, you know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
working against them. I'm literally marking a car, making sure that they're not in the car at the same time. So
Hmm.
it's that has been more of a challenge over the years than the actual competition part. It's the day-to-day things that we do. But I got used to that system and I got really quick at it, and when the competition time came around, obviously I didn't have anything else to use. So that's what I went with. And I didn't even know what I was up against until I got there. And then I saw all these other, people, and I'm up against these guys that are, doing this all day, every day. That's literally all they do is recalibrations. And they're using the Altel tool, and I'm like, I've heard that this is so much faster. I know they're going to beat me on time. So, you know what? Whatever. I'll just go with it, make the most of it. I'll joke around with the judges and the people that are standing around, and I'll have a good time with it. And that's what I did. And it worked out.
It
So
worked
that was
out
that.
amazingly. Yeah, it worked out amazingly. Like I said, I was just watching you and then watching, like I said, the old school mathematics of the strings and making sure everything is correct. And like I was just like, man, this is like you had such a, you're right, you were joking around, you were having a good time. It was evident in your performance you were having a good time. And you flowed so naturally that it has to be where you're doing that dance with the technicians. While they're
Hmm.
working, you're also trying to set up, you're also trying to work around what they've got going on. So like that dance had to lead to some of the natural flow you have, because you do have a very natural flow at what you do with calibrations. Like I didn't see you stop and look around for something. You knew where everything was. You weren't tracing back and forth around the vehicle, which is it's that's very important when it comes to a competition and timed competition. making sure that
Exactly.
you're not wasting movements. And you could tell that that's what you're doing in your day to day, because if you get in a technician's way, I'm a technician, and like, even though I'm a calibration technician too, I'm a technician, and like, it's like, whoa, what, get get the
You know,
I got
yeah,
something I'm working.
you know. I'm not tripping over your ass. Get the hell out of my way.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I can tell that you do this, you know. Yeah, but what brought you into auto glass?
My husband, we have been together, gosh, almost 28 years now, and he started in auto glass at the age of 18, and we've been together that long, pretty much. And he started Seminole Auto Glass in 2006 with his previous auto glass experience from all of his years, you know, until then, and working at other companies and whatnot, and then decided to do his own thing and started Seminole. And I was working at a pest control company at the time here locally in Tallahassee. I've always been in management, always been in advertising, always been in marketing, and just kind of the overseer of an office as well. And when he started Seminole Auto Glass, for a few years, he was just one man, one truck, doing his own thing, you know, how we all get started. And then started picking up a lot of body shops and dealerships and accounts and things that he needed, you know, accounting help with and tracking and whatnot. And started getting bigger. And then I said, hey, why don't we do some TV commercials and radio and stuff? And so we did, and it was like, all right, it's time for you to jump ship and come work on the Seminole stuff. So, so naturally I did, and became the office manager, of course. And this was back had to have been in probably 2010, somewhere around there. So back then, you know, we weren't doing calibrations, of course, nobody was. But I just did the office and all that advertising stuff like I was talking about. And over the years we've grown and expanded and been here, there, and different places. We had a location over in Panama City for a little while, and then the BP thing happened and we kind of shut that area down for a while. And then here, things just started getting bigger, and then the recalibration started to happen, and so we added that service, and that's where I came into play with all of that, because I wasn't going to add that to my guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've already got enough on their plate doing the installs, which I don't have the expertise in at all. I don't do installs. I can help them set a windshield, but that's about it. I don't take credit for any of that. It's not that I couldn't if my arm wasn't twisted. You know, I would struggle through it, but. So I decided to kind of wrap my arms around the recalibration side of it and take that on as my thing, and let them do the installs, and I would do the recalibrations, hopefully side by side with them at the shop. And so that's what we did. And so we added OptiAim and started doing those, and like I said, I learned real quick that I had to be real quick if I wanted to get them done at the same time as the other guys, because you know, my husband's got a lot of years experience in doing auto glass, so he can go in there and yank out a windshield real fast and get his prep work done. And a lot of times we'll tackle it together. You know, I'll grab the windshield and I'll clean the windshield, and he's pulling the glass out, and then I'll start doing my measurements, work around the car there, set up my target while he's priming the car. Then we both set the windshield together, clean the car up together, and then he's doing something else while I shoot the actual calibration, and then pull the car out, and we're on our way. So we've kind of gotten
See, that's yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but that right there speaks to the importance of working in tandem in a team and learning each other. Because I was very fortunate to work with another partner when I was installing every day, and we knew each other. So when we went out to do a job, it was, you know,
Yep.
pull up,
Yep.
talk to the customer, I'm pulling the cow. You come back, cut the windshield out, I'm trimming it back. You're setting up for the calibration, you know what I mean? Like, it was just back, especially, you know, because we worked in shop together a lot, and it was just like, I'm telling you right now, like, if you, anybody listening out there, if you can get yourself a teammate not
Yeah.
just somebody that's a helper, but a teammate who
Right.
can read
Right.
your emotions and what you want done. Like you can all, I bet you and your husband, because my wife and I's been together pretty close to the same amount of time you and your husband have. And it's a telepathic thing too. Like she can look at me
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm like, man, I just fucked up, you know, like, so, so like, you know, like you get to reading that other person and you know, and you're, so if you can get a teammate that you're working with day to
Yes.
day, that's so huge. So
Yeah,
huge.
it's funny because yeah, we're coming off a 3-day hiatus of an argument, but yet we can work together and not even talk to each other.
Yeah, because you know he knows where you're going to do when, you know what he's going to do
Exactly.
when, and you guys could just
Exactly.
be not talking, but you can
Yeah.
roll through the day. I 100% can agree and understand that. Like that's, yeah, 100%. You're just, yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
but
that.
it
And
doesn't have to be a husband and wife couple though. It can be
no,
any,
no,
you
no,
know,
no, no,
you
no,
can
no.
have that.
Any,
Yeah, you just need to find that person that can almost dance that dance with you. You know, who knows
hmm
what the steps are in a job and knows where they fit in that job. You know, hey, I got to do this while they do that. Don't stand around talking. Don't do that. If
no,
I'm doing something, you
no.
better be doing something. But you know, that's just how we work.
Well, and that's the accountability part that you have to build into a partnership like that. Because myself and Big James worked together at Richardson, and that's what it was. Like I wasn't standing playing on my phone. He wasn't standing playing on his phone. Weren't standing talking. Those things can get done after the job's done or in between while you're waiting on cars if you would happen to wait on a car. But
Yep.
that accountability, like if he was, you know, because there was days where, because he was a big drinker, so there was days that he would come in and he was just like, I'm not feeling it today, and I'm like, no, saddle up, motherfucker, because it's happening. And so like, and he would do the same thing to me. Like I would come in after like a big long hike with my wife, and I'm like all tired and stuff, and just walk, you know, coming in having a case of the Mondays, and he's like, "You better put your big boy pants on because you're not standing around, brother.
That's
Like
right.
you better do something." So, so you got to have that accountability with that other person, and it doesn't have to be a husband and wife team. It can, you know, because James and I obviously weren't married, so you know, it can just be a partnership
Work
between two
married.
people. Yeah, work married. So, but it does speak to having that person that you can rely on, and being that person that someone can rely on, because there's nothing worse if you're working with somebody and they call off on you.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
oh,
That it,
the
especially,
work's still got to get done.
yeah, yeah, and it's always on a day when you definitely have like 2-man sets, or you
Hmm.
know, stuff like that, when you definitely need
Yep,
that extra hand. It's like, of all
yep.
days, you pick this one.
Yeah, no. And if anybody out there listening that's a technician, you work for somebody, or even if you work for yourself, but if you call off, you are not screwing management. You're
No,
screwing that person that's in the van or in the bay beside you. You are not screwing
that's right.
management. So don't think that I'm going to call off, I'm screwing the management, that they'll let them deal with it. No, because they don't. That shit rolls downhill
No,
and it lands on the person standing next to you or sitting next to you.
that's
So
right.
if
That's
that's a
right.
piece of advice, man, think hard before you call off. I could count on one hand the amount of times I called off in the 17 years at Richardson. I always scheduled that stuff off so that way he had a heads up that he was getting fucked, you know? So
Pre-plan that
excuse
shit.
my, yeah, exactly. Pre-plan it, you know? So that way he can prepare for it, you know? But yeah, well, with your husband's experience in auto glass being, what'd you say, like 28 years in the industry? Um, you guys have had to see pretty much everything come through now. Like that's, I don't think that there's a lot of people that understand like the actual the actual, I guess, talent it takes to stay with this that long and be good at it for that many years, because so many things
Yeah.
change all the time. So big congratulations to you and your husband for that one, because it's an ever changing industry, and to stay with it and to stay hungry and to stay, you know, in it, that's a huge accomplishment. Not just your accomplishment of winning the world championship in calibration, but also the fact that 28 years, man, we they don't build us like us anymore, man. They just don't build
No.
them like us anymore.
No, they really don't. Because you know, I was thinking the other day, you know, we need to hire another person probably, because I'm going to be promoting the Alltel stuff quite a bit, and we're going to be hopefully adding a lot more stuff to our calendar. And so I was thinking that we need to add another person, and yet I look back at some of the stuff that people have posted on social media, and it's like you're hiring or training your future competition. And it's like, So how do you do that? How do you bring someone on and train someone to be that person that you want them to be without having that fear that they're just going to jump ship, you know? And so it's hard, because I want to bring in someone that's like a newbie and kind of bring them up and train them and keep them going. But I also don't want them to take all of that time from us and then just leave us high and dry, you know? That's kind of my
That's
debate.
yeah, that's a huge debate. That is a huge debate. Wow, how do you build that relationship that's that bridge of, trust of I'm teaching you a skill that is highly valued, and but I want you to use it for, us, because we are giving you the opportunity. We're investing in your education, we're investing in you as a person. Boy, that's a tough one. Wonder how.
Because then you show them
I've
the
never had to
industry
do
and
it.
they see it. And sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I just said I've never had to do it. So yeah, that's a good one. You're
Yeah.
saying you show them the industry.
Yeah, you show them the industry and you teach them everything, and then they end up going somewhere else or doing their own thing. I mean, you've got to bring somebody on in order to have that relief too. So it's kind of what do you do anyway? You're gonna have to invest in them
That's
one way or another.
hmm. That's yeah. I don't envy you. I don't envy you at all. That's a tough decision. That's a tough one because I've always worked for somebody. You know.
Right.
Um.
Well, see, my,
You
my,
know.
my point is how you were saying they don't make them like that anymore is because, it's hard to find people that have been in the industry that have the education that aren't already doing their own thing
Yeah. That's a
or
good
aren't
point.
working
That's a
at,
very.
I guess, another corporation, which I don't care to take that either. But at any rate, that was all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a tough one. So you guys are busy because I know that there's a lot of rumors out there going around that actual auto glass in Florida and everywhere is slow. So you guys staying
Hmm.
pretty busy though? Is it because of your advertising?
But we try to stay consistent. Yeah. We're not, I wouldn't say that we are, it's not our, high period of time right now. But we are steady. We have a lot of accounts that we take care of, whether it's body shops or fleet accounts, like FedEx and places like that. Um, we also cut glass, which is something that everybody else does in town. Um, so between that kind of thing and then our advertising, yes, I have been doing a lot with our website. And I'm about to roll out where they can create a claim and schedule their appointment online on our website. And I do a lot on the radio. People hear me on the radio quite a bit, and they'll bring that up to me. I run into people at Publix just this morning. The dude at Publix, I hear you on the radio all the time. Thanks, dude. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I know it's working. So I use that to my advantage a lot. I basically broadcast to the community through my radio ads. And then they'll pick it up also on social media through that advertisement too. We're basically saying the same things. So I'm just flooding the Tallahassee area through radio and social media of what we've got going on. So I try to keep us as consistently steady as possible, no matter what time of year it is.
The community aspect of it, I think because of the social community, so many of the auto glass shops now are focusing strictly on that instead of focusing on like the radio, the grassroots of sponsorship and getting back to community. Do you see the advertising changing and being more focused on community? Because that seems to be the way that where you're going to get your business right now, because it's not going to come from
Hmm.
the social networks or even the insurance networks for that matter.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to get them from the insurance companies. And so what I do is, whether it's local Facebook groups, that's an easy way to reach your local community. I have used that a lot. But like I said, the radio stuff seems to do a good bit because it's broadcast to our general local area. And for whatever reason, people in Tallahassee like to listen to that. And they listen to it while they're at work or whatever. So that gets a lot of attention. But between that and then the social media advertising at the, shorten your radius to where you're broadcasting to, because it does no good to do a social media post nationwide, because if you're not going to cover that area, so you got to pay attention to where your advertisement is going, and make sure that's going just to your community.
Now, would you recommend somebody like do it how you do it? You do the advertising on the radio, or have a professional spokesperson announce it on the radio like a professional DJ? Because you do the ads, correct?
I do. It depends on how comfortable you are with it. I've been doing radio for so long that it just comes natural to me. Jimmy Bone, the local DJ, is a close personal friend of mine. That's how long we've been working together. And you have to know your business, okay? So who knows your business better than you do? You do. So if you can write about your business, you can talk about your business. And if it just comes naturally to you and you're able to flow with it, then do it yourself. If not, if you don't like the way that it sounds, then have somebody else record it for you. But I definitely encourage people to do it themselves or to have a hand in writing it, because no one knows about what you do in your intricacies of your business better than yourself. So whether, I do bounce off of the radio for ideas. I'll send them something that I start and they'll finish it for me. Or Melissa, one of my girls, will say, hey, I just thought of this idea, what do you think? And then I'll kind of take it from there and turn it into something. So it's kind of a mutual respect thing, or a mutual collaboration thing. But here lately, since AI has become so wonderful, that will help you finish a commercial real quick.
Yeah. So the only thing with AI that is kind of like, because I'm embracing it as well as everybody else, I went on and created the action figure of myself that everybody does with AI and all that. But like for me, the authenticity is so important for like the AI portion of it, because like I had it write a email for me, because at my current job, we're doing this AI challenge. And I had AI write an email, and it sounded nothing like me. And I was like,
right.
Yeah, anybody reading this is going to know James didn't write that. First of all, everything's spelled correctly. Second of all, there's punctuation in it. Like, so like that it's like it's taking the authenticity out of it, because you learn how people text as well as you learn how they talk. That's
yes.
But AI is going to be, I think, huge when it comes to marketing in the future. It's just how you keep, authentic to your business and still use AI to its full potential. Because like you said, AI is never going to know your business like you know your business.
That's right.
No matter how much information you put into it.
So that's why you have to be like extremely precise. Like I said, I will write a complete radio ad and then put it into ChatGPT just to make sure that it flows good. You know what I'm saying? So that it kind of polishes it a little bit for me. It's still what I said, it just maybe kind of tweaks it a little bit. But then I have had it write straight up, just ask it for a commercial idea, and it's so generic and so cheesy. It's like, that's not at all what I want. But so I've been doing it all along myself anyway. I think I started writing commercials. It was a homeschool or a homework project in elementary school. I wrote my first radio commercial about cereal. And from then on, after that, in high school, I did, stupid artsy stuff and things like that. And then once I got into the pest control company that I worked for, I did a TV commercial. And I actually drove our company truck from Tallahassee to Fort Lauderdale with my daughter, who was 5 at the time, and she was in the commercial. and it was a big production. It was a big to do, right? She got the whole hair and makeup and the trailer for everything. It was a big movie set, fun, and so I did all of the promoting for that company there, and we did that. And then we also did radio and stuff there. And then so that's kind of where I kind of got all of my advertising bugs from throughout the years.
Man, that right there speaks highly of experience, real world experience. Like you can't teach that kind of knowledge to somebody in a book, man. That's like
No,
giving somebody Bob Brannick's book and saying you got 10 minutes to figure this out and then go put a windshield in. That shit ain't happening
right.
either. That's not happening either, man. That's a great life experience. And for your daughter, I mean, to feel
Yeah,
like a superstar, that had to be
I know,
amazing
right?
feeling as a parent, you know? That had
Yeah,
to be
yeah. That was a lot of
great.
fun. We still have it on
Yeah,
DVD. That's how
yes.
long ago it was.
Yes, that's awesome. That is great. Like you got to keep those things, man. Especially like I have adult
Yeah.
children, so for me, the VHS tapes and then the DVDs and yeah. So like
Wow.
my kids are yeah, the keeping all
How
their
many
stuff
children?
is cool. I've got three. I got three.
What, three?
29, 29, 26, and she'll be 21 in December. And then I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter.
Aw, that's sweet. Yep, mine are
Yeah.
25. Yes, oh, Haley just turned 26. And then I have my son who is 20. And I have two grandbabies that are 4 and 2.
Yeah. Listen, you think your kids are the coolest people in the world till you meet your grandkids, and you're like,
I
y'all
know,
motherfuckers
right?
are, you are duds. Like seriously. like
Yeah.
like meeting your grandchild is like the greatest thing. And like I thought, holding my kids and oh my goodness, this is so great. I'm gonna be but like the worry is off. Like you still worry about your grandkids, but like the pressure to be
Right.
the
Yeah.
shit is off. You
Yeah.
have to be the main person for your kids. Like they're
Right.
literally counting on you for their survival. Not your
That's
grandkids.
right.
They're counting on your kids for their survival. so
Yep. They're counting
so
on
you
you
could
to
just be
spoil
cool.
them whenever they want to be spoiled, and that's about it.
Absolutely. 100%. Because we get our granddaughter on Friday afternoons. We pick her up from preschool. Well, it's not preschool. It's daycare, but it's kind of like a school thing. But
Yeah.
anyways, we pick her up from there on Fridays, and then we have her for Friday night for a few hours. So my daughter and her fiance can have a date night, kind of thing. And it's like watching her run up to you when she's at the school. It's like,
I
oh man,
know.
this is the coolest thing
Melts
ever. And
her
then we take her and
heart.
we yes, and we buy her all kinds of stuff, and then we send it home with them.
Yes.
Like, go ahead, take it. My daughter's like, you
I
got to quit
know.
buying stuff.
It's the best. They're the
It
best. The
is.
things that they say, and like their little personalities. Oh my gosh, my grandbaby Riley, she is just the sweetest little thing. All of a sudden, she'll just be walking, Nana, I just love you. And it's just like, where do you, I mean, just the sweetest little things just out of the blue, you know? How can you not love that?
Exactly, exactly. And our little granddaughter, like when she's with at home with her parents or whatever, she's like kind of chill, laid back, I guess. But when she's with us, she's a diva. Like she's changing her
Mm,
clothes a bunch, going to the mirror, and prep.
mm,
And so like it's like completely different than. And my daughter Cadence is like, what? She doesn't act like that at home, and it's like that's because she's here. That's because
yeah,
she's here.
but you
She's
can.
she's
Because it's a
here. Yeah,
grandma's
she
house.
can.
What are you?
Yeah,
What are your
absolutely.
names? You're not
Okay,
grandma and
so
grandpa. What are your names?
my wife is Gigi, and I'm Pop Pop.
There you go. Gigi and Papa.
Yeah,
We're Nana and
yeah,
Papa.
yeah, yeah. Everybody's got those little names for because when my kids were growing up, it was Nana and Papaw and Mama and Papaw. Where's the two for my wife's parents and then my parents, and then for us it was just Gigi and Pop Pop, and it's like that works out
Yep.
great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love being a Pop
Isn't
Pop.
it
It's
funny how
cool.
times change though? Because it used to be like grandma and grandpa, and like you were saying, the Gigi and Papa, or now it's Lolly and Pop. Have you heard of that?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's
All
like what's
trendy.
going on with yeah, it's like what's going on with this trendy stuff, man? Come on, let's get back to what we had going on back in the day.
Exactly.
Gen X, we're the shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh shoot. Okay, so we better talk about auto glass because people are
I was
listening to
gonna
this
say.
for auto glass. It's just it's awesome because
So,
we're real people.
um, what about this coming year? I don't know if I'll be able to make it this coming year. We will have to see about that in
Oh, in San
Texas.
Antonio. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Why?
would really
Like it's
much,
in
very much
August.
like to, but it's a far
It's
drive.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm assuming I will be there because, like this year, I was the MC of like the competitions, and then I helped MC the closing ceremonies, and then I help with Trisha with the demos, getting the demos up and going. That's on the floor. I had one talk this year that I had to give, which was on the show floor, and then I announced a keynote speaker. So I figure as long as they liked what they saw this year, I'll get to come back and do all that shit again, which would be cool.
I'm sure you will,
Yeah, I
because
had
you were
so
there the
much
year
fun.
previous. Yeah, you
Yeah,
do that all, like every
19.
year, don't you?
2019 was my first year, and every year since. I competed in 19, 21 because 20 was COVID. So I competed in 21, 22. I won it in 23, and then 24 and 25. I've been there hosting and giving talks and trying to bring the respect to our industry that we deserve as
I
technicians.
was gonna
So that's
say you've
why.
been like a staple of it for a few years now. Every time anything auto glass meet is you're right there in the mix of it. So thanks for what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm hard to miss because I like bright, colorful suits. So I always have bright,
Yeah,
colorful suits on.
I love that. I love that. I love the bright,
Yeah.
colorful stuff. As a matter of fact, sorry, I got an alarm going off. As a matter of fact, I love that kind of thing. I wanted to do a similar thing. If I was going to come back and compete this last year, I was going to wear have something made of like our logo, and then
Yeah.
also representing epilepsy. That my son. That's obviously the reason why I wasn't able to be there this past year. With it being so far away, my 20-year-old, he has epilepsy, and
Mm.
I was able to compete in Orlando because it was close enough that we could drive. Um,
Hmm.
and at that competition, he and my husband were there. They were there on day one. His medicine started messing with him really bad, and he wasn't able to really even walk that night. And so the competition day, him and my husband had to stay at the Airbnb. They weren't able to be there, and then finally, thank goodness, we were able to get him regulated enough for the championship dinner, and he was able to be there for that while I got my award, and that was pretty special having him there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been a
that's
big
cool that he was able to
supporter.
make it.
Say
And that's
again?
cool. That's awesome that he was able to be there for that. I don't know, if you look at any of the pictures, the gentleman who took third place, Tommy George, he was sponsored by this show. This show sponsored him to go. And so
Oh,
he
really?
had all the yeah, he had all the pink and black logoing on all of his stuff. Like he had a work shirt that I had made up that says "Put 'em on a Glass Podcast" and has my big logo and it's pink and black. And then all of
Sweet.
his fender, yeah, all of his fender covers and hood cover said "Put 'em on the Glass Podcast" with his seat cover and everything. And he used
Dang,
my
that's awesome.
frog. Yeah, he used my
Uh-huh.
frog tool to cut it out, and it's logoed with the "Put 'em on the Glass" podcast logo. So definitely, if you're coming again, logo that shit up, make it look like NASCAR out
Yes.
there, man. That is what's up.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. Like I said, for our business, yeah, so that people would know who I was, and then obviously, the epilepsy awareness and stuff, because it's been a big part of our lives, obviously, and that's the reason why I wasn't able to be there this past year because of the distance, and that's probably why I won't be able to go to Texas. But we'll see. It's just day by day. Never know how things are going to go with that kind of I even hate to call it a sickness, but I guess that is what it is. Epilepsy, it sucks no matter what. Um, so and just see how it
Well,
goes
let's
as the time comes.
let's talk about that. That's epilepsy awareness. Where can people come and support what you're doing with the epilepsy awareness? I can't say that word for some reason. I'm sorry, it's escaping my lips and it's sounding weird. Um, so if you could, just let's
Yeah.
give them a
Well,
rundown.
Yeah, in November is actually Epilepsy Awareness Month, and there's so many different ways. The best thing to do would be to go to the Epilepsy Foundation. I believe it's epilepsy.org or epilepsyfoundation.org. I'll have to get that to you for sure, but mainly I just try to raise awareness about it because only 1 in 26 people have it, and it's so rare, and it can come on for so many. I mean, the brain is the biggest computer in your body, and it's so intricate, and there's no way to know what's going to happen at any given time. And seizures are so crazy, and they can be so different, and just people don't know about it. And I just wish that they would find out more to come up with better treatments for it. You know, it's definitely a life-altering thing, because obviously, you know, my son was perfectly normal, hunting, fishing, loving every day, 17-year-old boy, and then he got sick in December. He had COVID in October, tested positive for COVID in October, got sick in December, and was complaining of neck pain, and we kept telling him, Trace, you need to go to urgent care, go to the ER, you know, you could have meningitis. And trying to keep getting go, and of course, stubborn, hard-headed boy. And he was working in auto glass with us at the time. This is a kid who has been priming windshields since he could see over the top of them. And him and his dad, you know, slinging glass all day long. And he could still do it to this day if he weren't hindered by this. But so he got sick in December. We told him he needed to go to ER, and he didn't. And then January 3rd, he had a root canal done. January 4th, he got sick and had his first seizure. And we were in the ER here in Tallahassee for a few days. We were life-flighted to Shands, and we were in the ICU for a total of 21 days. He was having seizure after seizure, and we couldn't ever get anything to test positive for what caused it. He had been hunting in the woods. He had gotten tick bites. We tested him for Lyme. We tested him for so many, any possible bloodborne, virus-borne, airborne sickness, disease, autoimmune, you name it, we tested for it, because he was at Shands, and then, you know, all of the different places that we had gone. Never got anything to test positive. And it ended up that they discharged him as viral meningitis encephalitis, which caused seizures. That was the final diagnosis at the end of it all. After that, we have been through doctors and different neurologists, epileptologists, facilities. We are currently being seen at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, which is like creme de la creme of hospitals, so they say. But yet he still continues to have seizures frequently, to the point where my husband and I are with him 24/7. He is perfectly normal on any given day, just like you and I. You would not know it if he were to, you know, start having an aura, that he could all of a sudden have a seizure just then, you know. So we're always on guard. We live our lives much differently. We hear a bump, and we all, you know, what's going on. 2 months ago, he had a seizure and fell face first on a hardwood floor and busted his front teeth out. As a matter of fact, would have been 2 days before I left to go to Auto Glass Week. September 13th, I believe, was when it happened. He had been outside and I could see him. I was watching him. He was outside by his truck, and he started to walk towards the front, towards the house, and I went to go meet him at the downstairs because I knew something wasn't right. And I went to go meet him, and he went, opened the door, and I heard him hit. And it was like the sound you can't even describe. And got to him, and he was having a seizure and had to stabilize him, which you don't ever want to have to do. I hope no parent, no person ever has to do this kind of stuff. But he was bleeding, and had to flip him over without dislocating his shoulder at the same time because he's convulsing. So got him flipped over, and then that's when I realized where the blood was coming from, and he had busted out all 3 of his front teeth, and that was not fun. So As of this morning,
No.
he has just now had his third root canal in his front teeth. So that's our roller coaster and our peek behind the scenes of epilepsy and life.
Well, everybody listening, one of our own, anybody help epilepsy however you can, but one of our family members in the Autoglass community is fighting this battle. So any way you can help, please do.
Yep.
Anything and everything is appreciated. And just take this as one of ours is suffering. So let's do something and get behind the epilepsy awareness. So,
Yes.
November's coming up. Let's see your shirts. Let's see your support. Let's see it on your web pages, your Facebook pages. Let's get it out there because, this is something that isn't, this is something that it's mysterious for you. It sounds like there's no like rhyme or reason like of what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. So if anything comes out of the awareness is just some sort of understanding for you why it's happening would just be a blessing, I would assume.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
how we see it. I know that God does everything for a reason, and He did this for a reason, and He's putting us through it for a reason, and He'll get us out of it for us for a reason. And everything that we're going through is we've been united as a family because of it. And we get through each day together, one day at a time, and that's all we can ever do. I mean, that's all any of us can ever do, because no day is ever promised.
Absolutely, 100%. You're never guaranteed to wake up the next day. So thank you for saying that and bringing that kind of realization of what's going on. But yeah, everybody get out and support. Have you guys been talked to about a service animal that could potentially sense when he's getting ready to have a seizure?
We have a black lab that has been a family dog since before this all started, and unfortunately, you can't have one when you have a service dog. So that's
Oh,
kind of hard because it's not. I'd
yeah,
have to get rid of my baby in order to get another.
yeah.
And I
No,
wish
I
I could
get it.
train my Remy Roo because she's the best little black lab there ever was, but I don't think
Yeah.
that I can. So, but yeah, we do have like the watches, the Embrace,
Hmm.
a seizure watch, and we've got cameras. We have cameras in the house. We've done everything we possibly can to take precautions to keep him safe, and the biggest thing is just continuing his medications and treatments, and we've got follow-ups coming in the next month over at Mayo to reevaluate things and stuff like that. So, and I'll be sharing some stuff throughout the month of November about the awareness, because like I said, November is the big epilepsy awareness month.
Okay, so whatever she shares, make sure everybody in our groups is liking and resharing, and doing everything we can with that to get the word out into our personal, not just share it inside of the Autoglass Facebook pages, but share it on your personal page as well. Like it, share it on your personal page, and get it out into all the communities. Because as a community, I'm telling you, we're strong. We're strong as a community. I've seen us come together, and so yeah, let's come
Absolutely.
together and let's show out. Because
Yeah.
this we're one big family in this. We're in this game together. Unfortunately, that it's Autoglass that chose us. I
Right.
believe that Autoglass, because I was making baskets and then got laid off from making baskets and went into doing Autoglass, and it's been a
See?
blessing for me because yeah, it chose me. It chose me.
Yeah,
So
right. And I ran into people at Auto Glass Week when I went 2 years ago that had people that have had seizures or have family members who have seizures. So there are other members in the Auto Glass community who are being affected by this. I just luckily have the voice, but there are others out there, the few and far between. Hopefully not many, because like I said, I hope nobody's having to deal with this. But the 1 in 26, there's a few of them out there. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll
100%.
make it less.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are one of those families out there, please know that we're thinking about you and we're doing everything we can to, promote that awareness so that way it can help you out as well, all the families. Well, we're coming up on 45 minutes, so kind of want to
Wow.
let's wrap this. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It goes fast. It goes so fast when you're talking about stuff. So let's go ahead and start the wrap up here. Let's go ahead and promote all your socials and then
Yes.
we'll say our goodbyes. What you got?
Yeah, so we're on TikTok. a little bit on Instagram, Facebook, SeminoleAutoglass.com, and on regular www.SeminoleAutoglass.com.
Perfect. Everybody drop in, say hi. If you see her on the socials, like her TikToks, like their TikToks,
Yes.
I should say. I've yet to pull the trigger on that. It's the whole, I know I have to. It's the whole, grandpa thing where I'm like, oh, the new kids, what they're doing, kind of thing. So, like, I know that's like what's stopping me, because like my friends will send me reels all the time off TikTok, and it's like I don't have it, so I can't watch those reels. And I know I got to do
You
it. I
should
just haven't
get
pulled the
it.
trigger yet. I
And it's
should.
easy.
I should get it.
I started getting into TikTok because I'm a beekeeper, and it's easier for me to shoot my beekeeping videos and post them on that. And that's how I got into.
Let's
Huh?
not like
What?
glaze over that. That came out of left field. A beekeeper? Like what the
Yes.
hell?
Yes.
So you got
I'm a
like honey and
beekeeper.
shit, right?
Yes. Yes. I just extracted a lot of honey. I just bottled 5 gallons of honey this past weekend.
That's a lot of fucking honey. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
5 gallons of honey. Oh
Yes.
man.
Yes. I have 10
Um
hives, and yeah.
So follow the beekeeper Sara on TikTok, because she's out there beekeeping. Hey, listen, I'm not surprised anymore by people in Autoglass and their hobbies and their other passions, because like I've got them too. But beekeeping, I've never heard that one yet, so that one took me by surprise. So yeah, wow.
Yes.
All right,
Yes. I'm
so
a beekeeper.
beekeeper Sara on TikTok, and with the Seminole Autoglass on TikTok. So yeah, I need to get on TikTok. I need to jump off of the couch and figure it out. And if it's easy,
Did you
it'll
ever
help
do
the show, I
Snapchat?
think. No, no, I never did Snapchat either. Like, okay, so
Okay.
up until 2021, no, up until 2022, it's either 21 or 22. I finally got Facebook. I had no social media up until that point, and I went to Autoglass Week in 19, and I met all the Autoglass Tech Talk people, Jeff Wacker and Drift Chris and Christian Foss
Mm-hmm.
and Jason Horn and all them, and they were like, hey, you need to. So my wife actually had a Facebook page, so she joined it for me. Well, then it was finally enough where it was like, hey, you really got to do this. Like, so I jumped on and got my own account. And then when I decided to start the podcast after I won the Tech Olympics, my friend Bradley was like, look, you need to really invest in this and get on the Facebook and have it all, be good. And I'm like, okay. So, the first year was kind of like Zoom calls and all. And then this year here, I really invested in equipment and, Riverside account to make sure I record all this stuff. But yeah, so I'm kind of slow to the social game. So, and I can't,
You never would have
well, I
guessed
can't,
with what you're doing.
well, yeah, but yeah, so I'm kind of slow to that. So I got to get on the TikTok. The Snapchat I never did. I do have Instagram. And for a while I had an X profile. It was Twitter at the time when I joined it.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't used it in years. I
Yeah, I
just,
never got on that.
yeah, it's just a weird thing. So I was just kind of like, I don't know why I just never did, but so it's out there, but I don't know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I need to
Well,
I need to
TikTok is
get on the
like
TikTok.
it was like the newest, latest thing. Basically, Facebook's the biggest, and then Instagram I don't use too much. TikTok, because TikTok has that STEM option where people are learning a lot in TikTok. So there's a lot of people
Hmm.
that are driven to that for that reason. And if somebody told me you should really jump on TikTok, you can get a great audience off of it. So I started it, and I think you hit a different audience.
Okay, I need to do that then. Thank you for that, because I
Yeah,
need to do that. That way I can, because I want to grow the show, obviously. And I
yeah.
think that would be one way to do it. So I need to do it, and then it's just random little clip videos, right? Do you make them or do you just share everybody else's?
And no, you can do pictures with sound that can last 10 seconds to 30 seconds, and you can put video overlay it so that people have to read it instead of just scrolling past a picture. Or you can do a video like what we're doing here, and just make sure that you put captions over it. Whatever you do, make sure you use captions, and you'll get the hang of it real fast. And then people will start liking and sharing and commenting, and then as long as you interact, it'll just grow from there.
All right, I have to do it then. All right, you've convinced me. So my goal next week is by next Friday to have a put them on the glass podcast TikTok page, so that way
There
I
you
can I
go.
can get I can get rolling on all that. So, but it's been
Yeah.
wonderful. I appreciate you accepting my invitation to come on. I
Thanks for having
since
me.
your win, yeah, since your win, I've been wanting to, and it was like ships passing in the night, kind of thing.
I
Like
know,
I would
right?
when I would think of it, I wouldn't send the text message or the Facebook Messenger, and then like it just hit me. I was like, oh, I gotta have Sarah on. Okay, so
There
then
she
that's why I
is.
was. Yeah, I was like, I got to do it. And I think it was it might have been one of your posts or something that you did on one of the Facebooks that kind of reminded me, and that's why I sent it over. So thank you for coming on the show. I sure do appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your story. That's amazing. And hang on, don't hang up right away because we got to let our podcast upload before we can log off, or else it's a whole big crazy thing that we have to do. So, but everybody, thank you for listening. Get out there and support in November and continue to support all year long. And if you want, reach out to myself, reach out to Sarah, and we will guide you in the right direction.
Absolutely. Thanks again for